Hello everyone, welcome to Accounting 160, Principles of Managerial Accounting 1 for the second half of the summer semester. We're just really glad and grateful that you have joined us for this class. And I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you around our course site. Give you an idea so that you're familiar and comfortable with where things are and how to interact with our class this summer. So first of all, I've put the most important tools across the top, the little icons, so that you can find the content for the course, the discussions, drop boxes, how we will deal with homework and even our midterm exam. If you want to check your grade, send an email. And then up here is resources. This will have links to tutoring schedules and to other help, including Smart Thinking, which is online tutoring. And you can check your class progress. That tells you, goes beyond grades to indicate what learning objectives you have worked on, what you have seen, what you haven't, all that good stuff. And will actually tell you what you will get as a grade given the points that are left. So it does a little bit more than the grades function in terms of what showing your progress. So those are your most important tools across the top, easy to find, one click away. Down the right side is My Ugly Mug. This is Jason Nielsen, CPA, and a couple-year-old picture. My hack email. There's a link. My on-campus office, which we're not using right now, and the phone number there, which we're not getting messages there. But more importantly is the Zoom room, my personal Zoom room link, which is where you can go for office hours, or if we set up an appointment to meet, that's where we will set up the Zoom meeting using that personal Zoom room for us to get together. So that link will be there all semester long or all term long, there in that same spot if you ever need to make that contact. All right. Here in the middle is what we refer to as the news feed. It will have a weekly, at least, if not more often, update giving you the things that you need to be most concerned about, kind of keep you up to date on any changes if there happens to be in our syllabus or in our scheduling. I don't anticipate those, but if they happen, they will be here, as well as just reminders about our weekly assignments and so forth. So that's how the main page is laid out. Down at the bottom is also the content browser, but I find that it's easier typically to just use the content up here at the top. You don't have to scroll down quite as far. And there is the calendar telling you what things are coming up due in a calendar format. And that can be helpful. But it's a little further down here on the right-hand side if you make reference to that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about class and where to find things. First of all, we're going to go into the content and go to our first module. Says Start Here, Introduction. There are two formats of the syllabus here. There is also a link to our textbook that we're going to be using, which was freely available. So just to show you, if I click on that link, I go to a place called LibreText. All right. Here, each of the chapters is here. This is the 6 chapters we'll cover in this textbook, exactly in order. If you would like it in a different format, this is all HTML, easily used online. Read on any device. But if you would like a PDF, okay, you can download the full PDF of the whole textbook. You can also just do it one chapter at a time by clicking on the chapter and then going back to this downloads. You can buy a paper copy if you would like that. That's going to take a little bit to get to you, but it can be purchased at the same location. All right. So those are your options to use the textbook. Either way, if you do buy a paper copy, it does cost like $13 or $14 to print it and have it shipped to you. So then each chapter, just to give you an idea of how it is organized, okay, click on that and there will be the material, reading, okay, just like a regular textbook. You can scroll down, and then at the very end of the chapter, okay, there are end of chapter exercises. And each chapter is organized the same way. First of all, it has questions, brief exercises, and then problems. Okay? So, in each learning module, you will find answers to all of the questions, all right, in a Excel spreadsheet, all the questions, all the brief exercises, and the exercises. So the reason I give you those answers is so that you can utilize them to review what you read in your textbook in the chapter. So you read the chapter, you go over these exercises, questions. If you feel like you're not sure of the answer or you want to check your answers, then you can look at that in the learning module on the course website, okay, for that chapter. Then the problems will always be where the homework comes from. So when you click on the drop box for the homework, there will be which problems you'll need to reference in the textbook. And remember, the problems are after the questions and exercises. That's where your homework will be. And you'll complete the homework each week. There will be a number of problems assigned. You'll post that in the Dropbox. Then you'll be able to see a video explaining how that answer could be derived. And then you can repost into the same Dropbox your corrections, if needed, to that homework and to your earlier answers. So you won't be able to see that video until it will be off limits or unclickable until you have completed and posted your homework. That's how the system is triggered to allow you to see the homework answers. So that's how the textbook works online in this format, and how to access it. I have put the full textbook in this introduction module, and I've put each chapter individually in the learning module that deals with that chapter. All right? So, back to the all right, we'd like you to introduce yourself to the class in introductions, and if you have any questions about what you read in the syllabus, then you can go here and make that post that question, and I'll respond within 24 hours. So all the information that you need about the class really is in the syllabus, including the schedule and the different assignments. All right. So Let's see how that. It looks like I cut off when I put it in the syllabus. I'm going to have to fix that syllabus showing that last column. You see how it's cut off there. All right. So, but all the other assignments are there, and descriptions of those assignments. So a little bit about some of those assignments. First of all, we talked about homework. We also want to talk about discussion boards and memos. Okay, so there's a required discussion posting. Every module, if we go back to content, module 1, there will be introductory material. There will be something to kind of get you thinking about the topic and about how better to learn. The reading and explanation. There will be a link to the chapter, as I said. PowerPoint presentation, my explanation videos of the material, as well as the answers, as I mentioned. Then under discussion, our first graded discussion will be here. There will usually, under discussions, there will be one graded discussion and one that is just for questions about this topic. The specific instructions about what you need to post is in when you click on the discussion board. Please read them carefully. Make sure you respond in the way that is instructed and to get full credit. You will be required at least to post twice, usually an initial post and a follow-up. The initial post is going to be due on Saturday, follow-up following week, by Monday or Tuesday. So when you do that, you can also repost if you find that and you also can't read other people's posts until you post. Once you have and you see other people's posts, and say you find that you want to update your post based on what you're reading from others, or you found some answers that go beyond what you stated in your first post, please just go back in and post again. I am going to look at the entirety of your postings to give the grade. And so I'm looking for you to come to the right answer or to a better answer. Not necessarily does it a once and done thing, but coming back, reading others, and discussing it to get to a better answer or a more complete answer, you might say. All right. Then there will be a module with the homework assignments, and we will, as we go along, have memos. Just a little bit about memos. We're going to be a little writing. There's going to be 2 different memo topics. We're going to turn in a first draft or a rough draft and then a final draft. The first draft I'll give you feedback. It will be graded as far as points based on you actually meeting the expectations. Even if it is not, you might say, up to professional writing standards. But once I've made corrections, then I will look at how those corrections were assimilated and whether or not the grammar and presentation is clear and concise and in a professional way. So that you get 2 shots, if you will. Even if you get a 10 out of 10 on the first one, that means that your rough draft was the proper length, it had the proper heading, and it had a citation, if necessary, to the material. Okay? All of those things were given. You could get 10 out of 10, but you still should revise it. You should still look at the comments, things to make it, because what could be 10 out of 10 for the rough draft would not be sufficient for that kind of score on the final draft, because I will be grading for much more particular in terms of presentation, how you address the topic, and so forth. So build on the experience in the rough draft to get a better final draft in the second try. That's how we continue to let our mistakes help us grow, like it says here on the screen. All right. Each module is basically the same. We'll have a midterm exam, which will be done in an Excel spreadsheet. The final exam will be a multiple choice and fill in the blank test that will be taken online in Desire to Learn. It will have a time limit. And we will do a review prior to doing that, or I'll provide a review for you so that you will be ready for the types of questions and how that will work. It will be comprehensive. It will be over the entirety of the material we cover in our course for the next 6 weeks. Normally we teach this class in 7 weeks in this regular semester. In the summer we teach it over 6 weeks. What will happen is, instead of having a separate week for the final exam and review, we will do the final exam and review at the same time as we're covering the last chapter of the textbook. That will get us in the material in 6 weeks rather than in the usual 7 weeks. That's how it will be different than this would be taught in the normal semester time, or the spring or fall semester, to accommodate the shorter time frame in the summer. All right, so those are the important pieces of that. Read through the syllabus, look at the policies in terms of academic dishonesty and that sort of thing. And we really look forward to working with you and helping everybody learn some things about managerial accounting this semester. Thank you.